In 1971, they recognized the Republic of New Africa as a terrorist organization because they were. Their goal was to succeed from the United States of America and form their own country called the Republic of New Africa. Their ultimate goal was to transform Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, East Texas, and North Florida. They were founded in '68 in Detroit. In '69, they were involved in a shooting with a police officer in Detroit at a church. Ended up down here, had a house at 1148 Lewis Street in Jackson, Mississippi. And Emory Obadele was the president, and Chuck Way Labama, who later ended up being the mayor of Jackson, was the vice president. And so my father, being head of the intelligence unit, would go out there and investigate it. On August 18th is when they raided the house, approximately about 6:20 in the morning. My father was killed that day. 2 other police officers' lives were never the same. I don't believe there was an accident, that they knew my father and them were coming that morning. They knew what kind of car he was in, which was not normal. And so, in my mind, somebody tipped them off.
Are treated fairly and given every opportunity afforded them by law. This was not done in the case of the Republic of New Africa. They are charged with obstructing justice. This, I believe, is an attempt on part of law enforcement officials to stop the Republic from building its community. My position is that people are entitled to live as they choose, so long as they are law-abiding and peaceful.
I'm not sure if they had an informant in that group or if Benny Thompson was an informant for the FBI. I don't know. When he got killed, they hid us out for several weeks after he got killed because they were worried about retaliation. For years, my family, had been threatened. We would get anonymous phone calls saying, I know you're a police officer now, you're not going to live to your 25th birthday. So my family has endured this for years and years. All 3 of us ended up being police officers. One of my youngest brother's son is now a police officer. So, you got 3 generations that we ended up being police officers. I don't think there's probably a more anti-cop person or anti-police officer person in the country than Benny Thompson. He's not pro-cop. Anytime you can have Benny Thompson sitting in the chair of Homeland Security over this BS insurrection or whatever they want to call this, that's not justice. He's thumbing his nose at law enforcement all over this country. And people are finally starting to recognize Benny Thompson for who he is and who we've known he is for the last 50 years.
I am Taylor Turcott, and I approve this message.